Imagine it's 1976. Some people might know this to be the day of the very first dunk contest. We have Julius Erving to represent the Nets and David Thompson to represent the Denver Nuggets. Julius Erving goes for the free throw line dunk. Okay, well, that's not so amazing. That's pretty standard. So much so that even the free throw jam isn't going to get you a 10. Nowadays, players are hitting that in-game. There are many dunks that don't excite a crowd anymore. Is this the end of the dunk contest? What is good, everyone? Hope everyone is having a great day. Hope nobody got shot, because that would be pretty shocking. If you did, I hope you recover quickly. The dunk contest is a staple within the NBA. It showcases the most creative and unseen dunks, players doing the seemingly impossible. It started in 1976, not in the NBA but in the ABA, before the merge of the two. It wasn't always a part of the All-Star Weekend though. At first, the only part of the weekend was the All-Star Game and the Old-Timers Game, featuring a West versus East style, different to how we now have two teams based on the best players. The first match featured legends such as Bob Cousy for the East and George Mikan for the West. I probably butchered both of those pronunciations. The East won by 17 thanks to Ed Macaulay scoring 20 points and clamping George to only 12 points and 4 field goals. At this point, there was no All-Star MVP since it was only introduced 2 years later, but once it was introduced they gave it to Macaulay for his performance. For the record, he put up a stat line of 20 points, 6 rebounds and 1 assist. Since then, loads of new events have been added as well as being scrapped. Perhaps one of the most exciting events was the Old-Timers Game, where retired players would once again lace up to add to their resume. This will probably be exciting to see, considering some of the players that we have today, such as Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Imagine them lacing once again to go head to head in a basketball game. But the other two biggest events, the 3-point challenge and the dunk contest, were introduced in 1986 and 1976 respectively. The first dunk contest consisted of players attempting 5 dunks in a row under 2 minutes, one from a standing position, one from a distance of 10 feet away from the basket, which, if you don't know, is basically the bottom of the semicircle that surrounds the free throw line and the key. The next 3 were freestyle positions, one coming in from the left side of the basket, one coming in from the right side of the basket, and finally from either corner down the baseline to the basket. They were judged on artistic ability, imagination, body flow, as well as fan response. However, the rules to the contest changes every year. Now can we just appreciate the change of energy from the first ever contest to the 2020?
And Artis Gilmore finishes with a big slam dunk.
No, that might be Alfred Payton in that mascot.
Why exactly do we have an All-Star Weekend? Well, during the regular season, at some point the games begin to get more and more tense, as teams fight to get a place in the playoffs and to attempt a championship. What better way to release some steam than seeing the best in the league play a game of max offense and minimal defense? But there is a deeper reason. At that time, the basketball world had just been rocked by the college basketball point shaving scandal. In order to regain public attention to the league, Cone, the NBA publicity director, suggested the league to host an exhibition game featuring the league's best players, similar to Major League Basketball's All-Star Game. Although most people, including Podoloff, the president of the NBA at the time, were pessimistic about the idea, Brown, who was a Boston Celtics owner, remained confident that it would be a huge success. He even offered to host the game and cover all the expenses or potential losses incurred from the game. Luckily, the game was a massive success and they sold 10,000 tickets. However, this is nothing to today. In the 2010 All-Star Game, they had managed to sell over 100,000 tickets, which was a record breaker. And for the record, the next 3 games will be hosted by the Pacers, then the Cavs, and then the Jazz. I don't know, just a small fact. Another fact being that they decide by bidding, much like the Olympics. What exactly is the problem with the dunk contest? Why isn't it as hyped up as it used to be? Well, as humans, we all have a limitation. We can can only jump so high or be so strong. This puts a limit on some of the things we can do. To put it simply, we have done all the dunks that we can do. Remember when I said it showcases players doing the seemingly impossible? At this point, it is impossible. Think about it. What sort of dunk does a player have to do in order to excite you? Between the legs dunk? Maybe a behind the back dunk. For a contest showing off the best of the best, this isn't all that exciting. How about a behind the back between the legs blindfolded dunk? That would get a crowd on its feet. But then again, that's past human limitations. It would be someone doing the impossible. Every year people walk into the stadium expecting mind-blowing dunks, but walk away disappointed. However, that might not be all. With limited potential, there are a limited amount of dunks. And after 41 years of dunking and coming up with the most creative dunks, I think it might be safe to say that we have reached this limit. It might be that we need a fresh new competition. But some people may be thinking, why the dunk contest? Why not the 3-point contest, for example? Well, it comes down to the nature of the game. The 3-point contest is the same thing over and over again, except that the focus is on the score, how many points a player can get, whereas in the dunk contest people aren't concerned with the score. They want to see a show, a spectacle, but it's like seeing the same movie over and over again. It gets a bit boring. It's time the dunk contest is scrapped. But let's say the contest is gone, that the NBA has come to their senses and said that it needs out. What should take its place? There have been loads of suggestions, but I'm going to take the best ones I've heard. So the top 3 replacements for the dunk contest in no particular order. Number 1, 1v1s. I think this would genuinely bring in so many more people. Everyone has heard the debates. Who's better, Giannis or LeBron? Depending on your take on the 1v1s, this could be the decider. However, the only thing I can see that would be wrong with it is that if 2 players like them 1v1 or any other players that are really close in the MVP race, people may take this 1v1 into consideration. The thing wrong with that is that it's not a serious 1v1. It's All-Star and they want to make a show. The next thing that it could be replaced by is the 2-ball competition. Now, this actually replaced an NBA slam dunk contest back in 1998. And the reason I chose this was because it is a merge of the NBA and WNBA, which is really what would bring the two together. 2-ball was a shooting event, where teams consisted of one NBA and one WNBA player who played in the same city. Each team was given 1 ball and 60 seconds on the clock, as each team alternated shooting and rebounding with each other at one of the 7 different locations. Each spot was a different distance from the hoop and worth a different point total. For example, layups were 2 points and 3-pointers were 8 points. A 10-point bonus was given to any team that made a shot from each of the 7 distances, and a 10-point deduction was given for any teams that didn't at least attempt a shot from each distance. The third thing is not too much different, but instead of 1v1s they could have fan voted 3v3s. And I think this might be more entertaining than 1v1. The current structure of the Shooting Stars competition, with 4 3-persons team, each consisting of a WNBA star, a current NBA player and a former NBA legend, is perfect. By changing the event to a single elimination 3-on-3 tournament, the NBA would make the competition infinitely more enjoyable. Instead of watching former Atlanta Hawks guard Steve Smith shoot a 3-pointer from a predetermined spot, we get to see him in a half-court set doing battle against the likes of Dennis Scott, Kenny Smith and Allen Houston. The change would liven up a contest that is currently a half-hearted appetizer for the more appealing events of All-Star Saturday. Thank you to anyone who did make it this far, and if you did enjoy the video, it would be great if you could leave a like and if you could subscribe, and let me know what you guys think in the description below. What do you think should replace the All-Star contest? And anyway, thanks for watching, and as I said before, the goal is for the end of this year to reach 50 subs, and that would be amazing if that could happen. Thanks for watching and peace out.